What makes a game unforgettable? Is it the graphics, the soundtrack, or the story? Maybe it's the feeling when you realize you have been playing for hours and still can't leave the game. In this video, I've chosen the 9 best games for you. Let's start. A list like this without Red Dead Redemption 2 is not a list in my opinion. If you haven't played this masterpiece yet, you are missing out so much. This game has one of the most immersive worlds in the gaming industry. Of course, the world of the game itself is a masterpiece, but the real deal here is Arthur Morgan's emotional and perfectly written story. By the end of the game, let's just say you'll need a moment to process it all. Next game, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This game isn't just about slaying monsters, although there are plenty of those. It's about stories, choices, and a world that reacts everything you do. The main character, Geralt of Rivia, is the hero we didn't know we needed. Once you start the game, the line between reality and fantasy starts to fade. If I talked about a fantasy world, the next game has to be the Elden Ring. This game doesn't just challenge you, it punishes you. It dares you to quit, but you won't. Why? Because every boss fight, every hidden dungeon, and every piece of lore feels like a reward. It's an open world Souls game, and if that doesn't excite you, then I don't know what will. Now let's switch gears and talk about God of War. Even the name of this game is a reason to start playing this masterpiece. You're a god, and not just any random god. You are the God of War, man. I feel like I don't need to tell you how good the story is and how powerful the relationship between Kratos and Atreus is on their journey. These are already reasons you should play it, but the main reason is you're a god and you will punish anything that stands in your way. Speaking of relationships, a list without The Last of Us would not be a perfect list. This game redefines narrative in gaming. It's dark, brutal, and well written. If someone asked me to summarize this game, I would say you will cry, you will rage, but most importantly, you will care. Did I say dark for The Last of Us? If so, Bloodborne won't like that. This game is the nightmare that wakes you up at the best moment of your sleep. If you have a PlayStation and the chance to try this game, then you have got to do it right now. But I have to warn you, this game is not for everyone. Don't worry, I've got a game for everyone. And it's the Marvel Spider-Man, of course. This is the game that makes you feel the closest to being a superhero. From Peter Parker's special life to the actions of Spider-Man, this is definitely a must-play. If you want more, then Skyrim is the next game. Even after a decade, people are still playing it. Why? Because there is no end to what you can do. Fight dragons, explore dungeons, or get married and have children to care for. It's all on you. Skyrim is legendary, and if you haven't played it yet, do it. But be ready for a world full of bugs. Speaking of bugs, after all the fixes, Night City is next level these days. At launch, Cyberpunk 2077 was unplayable and the technical issues were awful, but that's history now. Cyberpunk 2077, with its beautiful main characters and fluid first-person storytelling and no loading screens, is waiting for you to play. Of course, there are more perfect games like Uncharted, Dishonored, Baldur's Gate 3, Horizon Forbidden West, etc. But let's talk more about those in the comments. What are your best games? Make your own list in the comments. Subscribe and like to motivate me to create more. Thanks for watching.